inspection done today and completed that for the roof framing and everything. So now I've started working on the siding, so I can finally put that on. So I'll show it on the other one, but just kind of show you what it's supposed to look like. This is around the door. So there's going to be this 3/8 inch strapping all around. It gives it that separation from the, so it's 3/8 inches thick here. Just gives it the separation from the wall and gives a little bit of air that can go on it, underneath it. And here's the siding, so it'll sit on top of it like this. So you see then there's a little bit of airspace for it to expand or move and just keep it dry. Nail this strapping on, 16 inches on center. Just like normal. Around openings, I only have a door, no window. I do double or two. Going back and forth, yeah, I'll work on the other one, you can see it. I just wanted to start to try out the siding to see how it is. I've left some of the nails in, I just tapped it in, just want to make sure this is my first time doing it, so I'm going to run up to the ledge of the door up here, because I'm going to have to run on the other side as well, and go up and I'll make sure I can get it level, so I can get it level all the way up. I'm trying to keep the nail pattern the same. They want you to do, so the bottom one, the bottom one has ripped flat, just so it overhangs, it doesn't have the groove part over it, and then each one of these after that are has the regular overlap, and you can actually see some of the way so any driving rain that hits, get to the side here, is going to hit here and go down. There's no way for it to go up, so it's always going to hit and come down over there. So you can see it's sitting on, so I'm showing you, sitting on top of the strapping. So what I did was, as I mentioned before, that they wanted, or I haven't mentioned, but in the instructions they want it 2 inches up from the bottom. The nail should be 2 inches up, and from the groove here, sorry, it's hard to see with the shadow, it should be 1 inch down. So I created just a little, kind of like a little jig or something. I don't know what to call it here. It's 2 inches up, and then 1 inch from the top onto there. It's a lot easier when I'm doing two hands. And there we go. I got, if you can see, the two dimples I need and right where I need to put them. But usually you want like a dull nail to keep it from splitting the wood. I've just been pre-nailing these. Keep them straight. I'm trying to do it on the wall. There's not a whole lot to it. Just put it in, keep it lined up here. I've been marking on the side here, keep it off 1/2 inch. One thing I've been doing is every 2 or so, or if I feel like it's coming off, is just double checking its level. Playing with it and trying it out a little bit, instead of trying to draw a level or use the level and go across, I just decided to, since I know that the top of the door is level, I was already measured it. I just measured down this side, and for each one of these lines where that one lined up, I just went and marked it down best I could. So I'm going to try to work down backwards. Since I'm only been nailing in the top nail, there's a little bit enough of a gap where I can slip the next one under there and actually keep it flush. And if you can see the line I have right here, that's how I know it's working out okay and I don't have to make any adjustments so that it's hitting that line. I also have here one of the 5-foot full boards. So, let me get this up here. So you can see now this will, oops, I can't hold in place. Obviously that'll hit that. I don't have my level with me, but I can see it's level. Piece that was going to fit in here. See, it'll fit there. I said it's probably unnecessary, but give me about just a little, almost 1/2 inch. And I'm going to take it over to the table saw and then just rip it to length. I said so there's just enough. I can put it down here to support, to get a little bit of support. I'm just going to tack it in place here. And just kind of show you, here's the full board. So this will sit down on here like all the other pieces I was doing. I don't care about this joint right here because the casing is going to come up here and pretty much cover it. Flashing. It's not in the instructions, but it came along on the inventory list. So it took a little bit of measuring and everything to get it working, because you had to, see, I had to cut the one piece of siding out, but I had to measure up so the casing, this is going to sit, the casing sits underneath of it, this sits on top of the casing, and so it goes under like this. As you get to the last row at the top, you have to rip it to length. Tape measure up here. So the boards are 7¼ You only have maybe 5½ inches or so. Piece that I ripped to 4¼ inches. So just get up here. There we go. So it's got a little bit of play in there. And I made sure I measure each one of these joists just to make sure that 4¼ or whatever I measured is gonna be enough. I'll show you quickly how to do the strapping. So it needs to go all along the edges. And it's usually found it easier to do or on the perimeter, and then start going and hitting where the joists are. It penetrates, the nail will penetrate through the siding, through the strapping, through the sheathing, plywood on the other side, to be able to go in. So you want to hit the joist. So I've been trying to think of the best way to do it, just so I can have a consistent line. So if I start, one way and go all the way around, even if I measure it pretty level, I still got to go 12 feet on that side, 5, 12, and by the time I get around, if I did a circle, by the time you get around, it may be off a little bit. On the back side here, because I have one point of reference here, and then run it over that way, and then go to kind of a good idea here, maybe mark it off or just tack it in place. And then at this point I have 2 points of reference here. Okay, so I decided on a plan. I think I know what I'm going to do. I need to get this level, and it's hard because it's 12 feet. I'm pretty sure it's straight, bending this way, but I'll fix that in a minute. So I'm going to use a torpedo level on that corner, just get it level so I can see so that it's level between that side and this side. Tack it in just temporarily, then go over to this side and use the long 6-foot level just to make sure it's level there, and then tack it temporarily in there, held in. Once I'm sure that it's completely level across, then I'll start nail it in on the ends, and then start hitting each one of the strapping here just to kind of make sure it's, because I have to have it level the first row, otherwise everything else will be off. So let me try the first one here. But when you go through knots or anything, it cracks really easy. It didn't do it here. It did on another piece of wood I had, so I kind of learned from that is to pre-drill a hole. Because I got all the strapping done here. Just down this long wall I hadn't done. The far side, over the short wall over there is where I've already done all the siding. So come around here in the corner, up the top. Festool makes this vacuum. It's called a wing, or not the vacuum, but there's a little thing called a wing. As I get close, it'll be hard to hear. Essentially, you can suck it onto material. So I have it sucked or attached. It's sucking onto the concrete there, and it has little pieces that you can adjust. So I can put that over there, vacuum, set the trim piece on top of that, and then it's like a helping hand over holding this side. It does not as hard this side, but when I get around the other side and I've got the 12-foot board, it's definitely going to help with that. Okay, so I finished up. I got all the strapping, and then I got one continuous board, not continuous, but one bottom board that's level all the way around. So now I have I know a consistent level. I'm still using my little guide I made, which is working good. So I can put up and down so I can keep the pattern going. This is the long pieces, so I decided to go through and just start sorting them. Actually, I had 3 piles here, so I had definitely good ones because I'm going to try to put the best ones I have again here since this is going to be the main view. So I just came up with some criteria. I wanted to know no knots or no defects like cracks in it or anything. Kind of a similar color. I like it variation, but you know, something like really red. So at that, so I had 1 pile of definitely maybes and then no's, and then anything that really had a defect in it or what I considered was a defect I put off to the side. Just yes, I'm almost done with the 12-foot wall here, siding it. So I get lined up pretty good with the corner there. This corner gets 3.5-inch siding all the way up, so it covers the screws, covers the corners, and then the other side, it's just the hammering the nails took a long time. I mean, I've been out here for 8 hours, I believe, so maybe an hour for lunch, 7.5 to do this. Finished all that strapping. So I did the 3 walls of strapping and this, and it took all that time. First cut was right here, so I had to use circular saw and it just notched that out a little bit. That'll get covered as well with like 3/4-inch trim, I think it is. That one had to be cut for length between the beams, and then also was a slight complication because you can see the slope there. So I had to get a piece that I had. So what I really did was take one of these pieces and just put it on there and then kind of move it along till I saw it was about 1/8 of an inch away, and then mark that, and then go all the way over to this side and mark where the slope is, and then use a circular saw and cut the trim saw. Is you may have bowed up or down, so nail in each side, and then what I did was I went to the middle and I actually pushed down on it like this, and there was several times where it was actually bowed up, and it wasn't noticeable, but when I pushed I could feel it push down and then settle on it. Otherwise you're going to end up with a bowed, like this. I decided I'm going to sand this a little bit. It's rough already, so I'm not trying to sand it smooth or anything, but I'm just trying to get it, because it's very furry, and I have kids, but I don't want them touching, getting splinters. So I'm going to leave it rough, but I'm just going to make a quick pass over it. So I've got a 120 on here, grit. I'm not trying to, again, smooth it real smooth, or I don't want to put on like a 60 or something and just tear it down. Really what I'm trying to do is get, hard to see, but if there's fuzzy, it's kind of like, I'm afraid that just for splinters, and I probably won't do the whole thing, just enough where people can touch it. So I don't want to get rid of that roughness because I want it to be able to soak up, but all that, the little fuzzies are gone. Still a little bit of like potential splinters right here on the edge, and I definitely don't want to use anything rough. So I got 180 grit, and I went switched to the battery powered random orbit, just because it's not very strong. So that's what I wanted. So now all the siding is done. This is the long wall, it's already been done. This is work here. I'll finish the trim up a little bit later. The casing around the door. I was just kind of fitting that one in there. I said this wall, check out this on here, is done. Had to do the same thing where I had to angle down on here. And then on the last one over here, and this is the short wall, again, where it's the downslope, I had to rip that. It's all pretty simple after you've done it a lot.